4 people have died and dozens more have been wounded in a wave of Russian drone and missile strikes on Kyiv, according to President Volodymyr Zelensky. Condemning the strikes as vile and calculated, Zelensky said about 430 drones and 18 missiles had been launched and dozens of high-rise buildings damaged. Kyiv's energy infrastructure was badly hit, leaving some buildings in the capital without heat, officials said. Ukraine's Air Force said several other regions across the country were also targeted. The Russian Black Sea port of Novorossiysk was hit in an overnight Ukrainian attack. Fire broke out at the major Sheshkaris oil refinery, and a ship and apartment blocks were hit, officials said. Krasnodar Governor Veniamin Kondratyev said 3 crew members and another man were hurt in the attack, which damaged the main oil depot and a container terminal. Mayor Andrei Kravchenko has declared a state of emergency, and Reuters reports that oil exports have been halted. In Kyiv, residential buildings came under attack in practically every district, the head of the city's military administration, Timur Tuchenko, said on Telegram. He issued a warning to take shelter a minute after midnight local time on Friday, 22:01 GMT, writing, "It's loud in Kyiv." Falling debris and fires have damaged multiple high-rise apartment buildings, a hospital, school and administrative buildings, according to emergency services. More than 40 people were rescued, they added, including 14 from a fire in a residential building in Desnyansky district, where 1 person died. Another person was rescued in the building after being pulled from beneath rubble, they said. Medical teams were deployed to all fires, officials said, while Klitschko said 9 people were being treated in hospital, with 1 man in an extremely serious condition. Parts of the Ukrainian capital's heating network were also damaged in the attack, the mayor noted, adding that the city's electricity and water supplies may have been disrupted. Ukraine's Air Force warned drones and guided bombs had been targeting several other regions, including Sumy. The overnight strikes follow the deaths of 6 people in another Russian offensive less than a week ago that also damaged residential buildings and energy infrastructure. Russia says its attacks on energy targets, now a familiar part of the war, are aimed at the Ukrainian military. Those attacks prompted President Zelensky to call for no exceptions to Western sanctions on Russian energy shortly after the US granted Hungary one such exemption. US President Donald Trump had initially announced the sanctions on Russian oil after saying ceasefire talks with Russian President Vladimir were not progressing.